Rebecca, women hold only 47 cents for every dollar of equity that men do. Talk to us about the trends we're seeing in these larger pay packages that are awarded to women.
Yeah, so in one of these first of its kind study, huge amount of data, I think 180,000 employees, almost 6,000 employers. So I think that the stats are pretty solid here, showing that women are only getting 47% of the equity, 47 cents of equity for every dollar that a man's getting. And that, as you said, is just a huge, huge disparity between the two.
Is the equity gap a bigger problem than, the traditional gender pay gap because it can widen so significantly at those high numbers?
Yeah, I think, equity, it's important to note that doesn't always result in a big payday, but it does result in a big payday sometimes, and it makes the next billionaires and the next influencers, and so it's something that I don't think is being talked about or considered. Obviously, the gender pay gap is important, and those weekly paychecks, they add up. But this is something that I think is having an outsized effect that we're not even considering to understand. I mean, this is the first time we're even really having data to show what it is.
Now, you give some specific examples of women in your piece. Walk us through some of those.
Yeah, so we talked to one woman who said she was offered a job, discussed it with a man who was offered the same job at the same time, and he was given more equity. She says that she asked for more equity, and she was told that no, that was standard. She took the job, and then, later asked more people she worked with, men, about their equity packages, and they had better ones than her. So she pushed back and then eventually got what she thought she deserved. But I think that's really where we're seeing the problem here. It's that when negotiating pay, it is already a very complicated and opaque process, and equity just adds a whole nother level to that. And if you're not willing to push back and ask, you're not going to get what you want. And then even sometimes for women, when they do push back, they don't get what they want.
Another sub-trend you talk about is misleveling. We can presume what that means. How is that playing out?
Yeah, so when startups offer jobs, they're offering a compensation package for a given level, for a given job that you're going to be doing. So the standard, what they say, standard salary and standard equity for that given job. But what I was told happens a lot of the times is that companies will offer you a job for a level that's lower than really the job you're going to do. And this might have to do just with the fact that startups are small and, they don't tend to have HR departments. But if you don't push back and say, no, I'm actually going to be doing a higher level job, then you're going to end up getting shortchanged on your equity and probably compensation too.
Now, we've heard some CEOs like Mark Benioff, CEO of Salesforce, talk about the extensive work they're doing to make sure that pay is not a problem across the organization. But what are companies really doing about this?
Like you said, a lot of companies do pay audits. I am not sure if that includes equity audits. I think that now the conversation needs to shift to include that too, if it doesn't already.